This is the before. I'm pressing the power button now. So the status bar appeared at like 10 seconds, I think, after I pressed the power button. I didn't get it before and after with Michael Hogan's, and I wished I had it. So we're at almost a minute. Seems like longer than that. That's the minute mark. We had a blank at 117. It's amazing how slow. Coming up on 2. Mark. There. So we got 212 was to get to. Oh yeah, I can't log in as her. I was gonna get her desktop, but anyway, about 220, I guess. Okay, so I just turned it off, and I'm unplugging everything, and I've already taken this little tool and gone around the edge like this. You slide it between the glass and you go like that, like a pizza cutter all the way around. I just realized the camera wasn't pointed at the pizza cutter. But anyway, so here, go all the way around. I'll do it one more time. And then go all the way around. I looked at this. This is where it hits the camera, but there's no wires there. And so then you just split it open. Almost dropped it. Just split it open, and you see the tape right here that has to be peeled off on both sides. But there's no wires for the camera that I can see, so that little pizza cutter's not going to mess up anything. So I've got to disconnect these 2 wires, and there's the hard drive right there. So once I do that, Joe said don't even take the bottom loose, just leave it. Kind of prop it up or something. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Give you an update in a bit. Okay, so I was able to disconnect these. This one's a little bit tricky because it has this little tiny thing, this flap, and then it just covers it like that. So you have to pull the black piece of plastic up, and then you unlock it, and then you can pull the thing off. That was the second one down right here. Now I'm disconnecting the hard drive, and you see my little rig here I've just got, because I'm going to leave the tape on the bottom. That was Joe Arnold's instructions. And then I've just got some gaffer's tape holding it here while I work on it. So I got this little tool of Jesus's out, and I'm using a T3, Torx 3, and it does fit good enough. I think it might be a Torx 4 actually, but this fits good enough. Without the extension, I can reach in here and get it. So I'm gonna take this out and put the new one in, and then I'll give you an update after that. so far, not too bad. Okay, here's update number 3. I got all 4 screws out, but they're different lengths. The long one goes on the bottom, the short one goes on the top right, and then these 2 are the same length on the left side. Then these little plastic things just pull off. They're not the same, by the way. Oh yeah, and don't drop the screw down in here. It's really hard to get out if you're not going to take that apart. So then those just come off. They are different. So the one on the right has a little hook on it, and then the hard drive just pulls out from there. So I'll be disconnecting that and putting the new one in. All right. Okay, so I finally got it in. I'm going to tell you, that connector is really hard to connect up. Just the SATA, regular SATA connector, but there's no play at all. So I ended up using my needle nose to hold it, and then just looked at it from the back side right there and kind of lined it up, and then finally I was able to get it started. Also, my gaffer's tape came loose, and then this fell down. I hope it didn't break anything. It appears not to have, but it scared me. So the next step is I'm going to clean this tape off along the edge here, and on the frame itself. Anyway, that was pretty crazy. Alright, so here's what I'm doing now. You see right here in the corner. Oh, doesn't seem to focus. Anyway, I just peeled this up. It looks like this. It has a little line right there, and that's where I started it. And then I'm just peeling that up. Just like tape. It's real strong tape though. I mean, it's real hard to pull off, especially with one hand. So anyway, I got to pull this off all the way around here, down to here, all the way around, and then down to there, and then the same thing on the chassis. All right, so what I've done is I've taken this tape off all the way around. It's a little hard cleaning it off right there. I think there's still a tiny bit. Then all the way around here, and then down. So I got all that tape off. Started cleaning this off. It's hard to get off of this back, and I thought I'd just show you what I'm doing. It's hard to get it started, and so I took a little razor blade just to get it started. But once you get it started, if you just go like that, it'll start rolling up. And so it's a little bit of a hassle just to get it going. There, I think I got it. Yeah, see, it's starting, and I'm just rolling it up. But when I get to, oh, this side doesn't have any of those plastic things. See, over here you have these plastic things in it. It's a lot wider and it kind of sticks more. Over here there's not any. On here I can just peel it. So that's it. This has been a little bit harder to do than the actual screen part. And the gaffer's tape's holding now. I pulled really hard and it didn't go. I guess I just barely stuck it on here originally. So anyway, it's holding and everything's ready. I've just got to connect these cables back up and put the new, here's the new strips. And they all go in an order. I've got to figure that out, but I'll give you an update. Okay, here's another update. This strip actually goes right here on the screen. You can see it'll fit once I get it in there. Now here's the deal. If you look real close, you can see that there's a hole in the end, and which helps you to line it up because there's also a hole down here. You can't see it, but if you take a paper clip, you can feel it in the paper clip right there. Now be careful, because I was holding it up here and it slipped down into the computer, and it was down in here somewhere, and I had to turn the whole thing upside down to get it out. So you don't want to let go of this thing. But anyway, there's a hole up here to line it up with too at the top. It's actually about there. I can't see it, but anyway, it's right in there. So what I did was I just started peeling the tape back. I didn't peel it all the way, and started it with the paper clip down here, and then I just pulled the tape off the back until it looks like this. Now the tape's still on the front side so it doesn't expose the sticky until you're ready to push it up against there. So that's it. It's coming together. Okay, what I was able to do is get this. I just took the back off. The front's still on there, and I'm gonna peel that off before I actually stick it on there. But this is stuck onto the back, and notice the numbering. It's 1, 2 at the top, 3 on the right, and 5 on the left. Then these two go on the bottom if you take the whole thing off. 4 left, 4 right. And so there it is. The hard drive's in. Don't drop the screws. And if you use a paper clip to put this, to line that tape up, don't drop it into the machine, because it will go all the way to the bottom of that thing. Alright, so now what I got to do is connect up my connectors, and then I'm going to power it up, make sure everything works before I actually take this tape off of this and stick it where it's permanent. Alright. Okay, I was able to get this connected. My fingers are fat, and so it's a little hard to do. I actually used my needle nose here, and I pulled, there's a little clip on this second one here, and I pulled it into the connector with that little clip. And then the top one I was able to get, even though my fingers are kind of big. So I think it's ready. I've got it plugged in. I'm going to power it up and see if it lights up. I see something. Interesting. It should actually show that there's no hard drive. Just thinking about it. I'm holding this with the gaffer's tape just to hold it there. Okay, maybe oh, there you go. So it just doesn't see anything. Alright, I think that's what it should do. What I did was I connected my external hard drive with Catalina on it, and it also has an installation on there. So it asks me to initialize the disk. I wanted just to do this to see if it would even see that. See, it's got the install of Catalina on there, as well as the operating system to boot up with. Alright, you need to make that ahead of time. And you can download the Catalina installation from Apple anytime. Okay, it took me probably an hour and a half to install the SSD inside this iMac. It cost about $100 with the tape and the little pizza roller and all that kind of stuff, and then of course the hard drive. Total, all that totals about $100. And then I'm going to turn it on right now, and then we're going to test it and see how quick it boots up. Remember, it took 2 minutes and 12 seconds a while ago. There it is. Okay. It took, I don't know, 30 seconds or something.